In theory, now we're back in action. Wild. Let's see what happens. Sorry about that. We started this, and for the first 9 minutes, it looks like people were jumping in, but there was no ability to do hello. Hey, Tom. Good morning. No ability to look at any live streams. It was unavailable. Hey, Joe. Good morning. All right. So getting back to what I started talking about, and that is that we're having an interesting conversation. Were you really around two? Hold it. Were you guys able to see each other comments, but I wasn't? Were you guys actually able to communicate? Good evening once again. Good evening, Edwin. Now I see your comments. Now I see everybody's comments. So hold it. I just want to make sure I understand. You were able to see comments. You were able to communicate and everything like that. I was the only one who wasn't. Yes, we were able to communicate. Yes, we can see each other. Wow. Okay. Wow. Even YouTube, when shit glitches, it glitches. Anyway. All right, real quickly. So I'm not sure how much of this, I'm probably then not going to repeat a whole lot, but a lot of what I was describing was getting things like scale, like these explosions that happened on the leg here. It was our secret meeting and you ruined it. I know. I'm sorry. I'm awful, aren't I? Who needs a host? Psh, I agree. Maybe that's what we should do from now on. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. You can sit there and just say, what a jerk. Anyway, I like the way it looks. The question is whether or not it is it's out of scale. So I might have to start looking at a couple of photos over the next day and just saying, okay, what do we got? The other thing I don't want to do is go too deep, because what ends up happening is that you not only create a problem with scale, but you also now, if you start to expose the interior, now what are you going to do with like populating that with, wiring or whatever? So you said 3 millimeter by 144. That's no, not 3 millimeter, 0.3 millimeter. Sorry, Tom. You'd probably get more done, likely. But again, I was thinking about this as I was debating yes or no, continuing to do this. And that is that, do you, at what point do I have to just say, why am I doing this? Because it's not purely about me blithering. This is about us at least having some level of communication. Yeah, now I'm kind of curious what your math says when you do 0.3 millimeter times 144. Okay. Hey, Ken, good morning. All righty. So we're going to set the EG aside, this has become the test mule for beating shit up and testing stuff out. So it's another mule. How many do I have now? 3? Maybe 4? Let's bring back this guy. Now what we're going to do is going to take this thing apart, and we're going to see where we can make some changes that are beneficial and necessary. It's too small. 0.3 millimeter times 144 is only an inch. I could be doing math wrong, but that doesn't sound right. I mean, just do round numbers, 17 inches. So that's basically what I said. Hey, Peter, good morning, by the way. I'll do the math later. I'll have to math it later. All right, real quickly. So on this guy here, things that I'm going to have to do, I'm going to do something with the wrist. Because the wrist is a little I don't want to have just that one little skinny section in there. I like the positioning on this thing. I don't know why I wrote number 4 on there. Oh, I know why. So I wrote the number 4 on its leg, and the reason is that was the number for that shape. There were different sizes, and that was the number 4 size. Just take a hammer, smash the Gundam, and then try to repair it. The repair will look like battle damage. No, it looked like a broken toy. Tempting as that is, no. I actually like the work that's been done on this thing so far. So the question now becomes, okay, what are we going to do to kind of moderate some stuff that makes that, let's just see. Okay, so if we have this position approximately, so here's some things that we're going to fix, right? You never know. Good. Hey, Richie, good morning. How are you? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some gap filling inside the ankles, because that doesn't look very good. A little bit more seam line removal to do on this thing. Oh, excuse me, get you back. Okay. By the way, guys, as I said earlier, it's going to be a slightly shorter session. I got to get out of here early today. I've got a training session to go to in Boston. One of the things, ooh, that's interesting. I don't remember how these legs came together now. So these legs have no ability at the hip to rotate. So the legs have a bit of a splayed out look. Not sure I'm happy with it, but we'll see. Maybe good for a Tuesday working on a Gramps. Nice. Are you off today, Richie? At least we have our morning gathering with the elder. I need to work on a Talmaze after this. Quite different experience. Oh, I'm sure. Then working on a Gundam, of course it is. All right, so why don't we start with getting this again back into position. There will be quite a bit of filling going on with some of this stuff here. I'm going to fill in some gaps there. Let's get some of this thing going. Yeah, I like that positioning right like that. Oh, me. Okay. Yeah, I'm working on Gramps, which is interesting. This is I like this little model. I remember mentioning this when I first started working on this guy. This is the one that Bandai gave away at shows. It's not an EG. It's not a first grade. It's one that was very unique to shows. It's very simple to put together. But putting it together, it's like, wow, I got to tell you, the details on this thing are really, really good. Hey, GB. Good evening. How are you? In the office this morning, throwing paint on Zaku 3. Nice. Just throwing. I love the Origin and HG and MG. Yeah, I do too. I haven't built the Master Grade. It is kind of on the hit list to pick up someday, maybe. But the Origin ones are really good. But the funny part is the Origin ones are probably my least favorite of the bunch. I love every other model. I'd say it's probably like the Origin one was near like mid-pack or a little bit below. Seems like the Caravan kit. That might be what it's called. I think I've saved the box somewhere. I can take a look for it. But it is the one that when I was at Anime NYC back in 2019, and we sat down when Julio was kind of like manning the tables and everything like that. I sat next to Manny, a couple of other guys, and we just kind of built these Gundams that they gave out, and they were specific to that kind of a show. You can't buy this model. Good, thanks. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Designed by Junior Design, probably guys trying to make a mark. Well, they did a great job. You know, for a stock model, it's actually really, really good. Like super stock. That was my first Gramps, the Origin. Really good choice. Okay, so we got the basic pose. I like that pose. Now what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to start working on, in particular, yeah, let me show you. That's the one that I got to work on. Got to gap fill that. What I'm likely just going to end up doing is taking a larger tube, slipping it over, and then that's it. Man, polycaps they use on these things were like industrial. We're going to go with wave thin tube. My first Gramps was the PG. Oh, of course it was, Tom. That's the G3 2.0 because I'm a G3 kind of guy. Nice. I didn't grab Gramps until like 6 years into Gunpla. Really? 6 years. Oof. 7, 7, 8. Let's see what the 8 looks like, shall we? Anyway, happy Tuesday, everybody. Go smaller. I want it to just fit around that ankle, maybe a little bit more than that, but not by much. Anybody else like? Is anybody not built an RX-78, the original, whatever version, whatever scale? I think how many I built now. The entry grade, the original. Is it with the HGUC? The original HGUC. The freebie, real grade, EG. I don't think I've ever built like the very original one. Nope. You should do it, Peter. Maybe not. Sorry, guys. I got a frog in the throat today. I do apologize. Let's go down to 7. Nope. Tubing it. I love tubing. Let's see what it looks like on that side again. I think we want to not cross. Yeah, I gotta go. Gonna go much smaller still. Let's bring it down from 7. We're gonna bring it down to 5. Only got it. I love this. I only have an entry PG, PGU, G base 2.0, Char MG 2.0, real grade 2.0. I think one more. Only. Oh, that sounded kind of weird, by the way. Just Just saying. Let's try the 5.0. Hey, Nick, good morning. How are you? Okay, the 5 doesn't straddle. I could be doing this more methodically, like actually taking like my calipers and measuring. I just don't want to. I'm feeling a little lazy. Besides, I'm not going to get too far into today just because of you have 800 plus. Yeah, but I don't have like a collection of all of one. I think maybe I do. The origin stuff I do, but I only have one of each. Nick, I'm tired. House full of sick kids and no sleep. Oh no. Is it back to that? Everybody, what kind of sickness, Nick? I'm hoping it isn't something too serious. But Tom, you got a point. I'm not going to lie, you have a point. But I would never say to my collection, but I only have. That's the one thing I wouldn't do. A cough and runny nose. Oh, so hopefully just basic cold, maybe a little flu, nothing more than that, right? Given that COVID vaccinations have now been banned in the United States. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. 5.5. That's the one. 5.5. Okay. I'm going to cut a good chunk of it off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to measure. Nick. Is it just the kids? Is your wife all right? I hope. What we got? 3. Yeah, we'll go 3 mil. What, you want mind control with your vaccine? You mean we don't have that already? So today we have one of our reps has built out a new facility, and they're hosting an event, training event, learning a little bit more about some more advanced principles with lighting control. And I get to hang out there today and not be at the office all day. And my hope is we wrap up early enough that I get to get home tonight and actually do some model work this evening. It's kind of what I'm hoping. Getting those off the street vaccine. Oh, yeah, exactly. Ooh, free food. Exactly. There'll be free food there. Okay. So if you take a look at the peg, right? And what we're going to do is just put a collar around it. All it's going to do is just thicken it up a little bit, right? Even that might be a little too thick, but I'd rather it be too thick than too thin. You have to grind back some of it. A little too high up into the ball. Let's put away the stuff. So that's what my day is going to be like. I like free food. Well, it gives you the opportunity to buy more, new Gundams and RX-78s and multiple different versions. Of course, I can understand that. I'm picking on you, Doc. I'm actually angling this a little bit because I think it'll just that what gives the foot sort of, so it's the foot and the ankle aren't coming together perfectly. Just a little bit of a toe in would be good. Anyway. So it is for all impulse. Jose, I'm sorry, Tom. Now again, just gonna say it. I know the size of my collection, but a PG and a PGU are an impulse buy. Tom, just saying. Last night I was snapping up the one of the Sakura Wars kits, the yellow spherical. I don't know what the hell it's called. I just think those designs just look so fabulous, right? I was snapping that up, and at the same time I was watching the new Titan documentary on Netflix. Ooh, that was interesting. I do think, I'm wondering. I don't know. Has anybody else watched it? Titan documentary. I'm not looking to spoil it for anybody. Found a new way to reduce my impulse buys by writing it down and set the calendar date the next month to see if I want it or not. No, Edwin, I think so. I do something a little bit more immediate, but something very similar. I will usually pick something up and put it and just kind of walk around the store with it if I'm buying it that way. And then it's like, do I still want this thing? And quite often, probably not. Or if I go to a model show, I will do a tour of all of the models. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And then come back like a couple hours later and do the same thing. You say, okay, do I still want it? And what I found is invariably, no, I don't. But whatever methodology you have to kind of prevent the impulse thing, yeah. Well, except the PGs, I'm collecting PGs. Like I only have the Strike Gundam in PG, but have no other Seed Gundam. Oh, but you have no other Seed Gundams. Okay. Well, there's probably a bunch out there. You're still young, Tom. You'll be able to get them all. Anyway, so I do recommend the documentary. I think it was good. I think there was a little bit of maybe not bias, but there did seem to be the centering of the anger towards of what happened, kind of exclusively. And I think that's I'd love to get a little bit more of an understanding of the history of the company. So it's a good primer. I do recommend it. I also found it fascinating that it wasn't a very gory thing. So, one of the things I'm not a big fan of is like, the what happened at the last minutes of Titan, and they didn't really go into that, which I think is great. It's more the lead up to the disaster rather than the actual disaster itself. And that's a good way of kind of telling that story. All right, let's get this thing put together. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. So what we have done now is we've fattened up the ankle. Come on. Sorry, guys. There we go. See how close I can get to this thing. There it goes. So there's that little piece of gray in there. I just created just a little bit more fill. I could actually, if I really wanted to, probably even put in something else, maybe like go to a what they call it, either like a square tube or a rectangular tube or something like that. But I'm kind of happy with that. What I may end up doing, and I don't think I'm going to, but I'm gonna leave it like this. I may end up just gluing it in place like that and calling it done. Oops, hello. The only thing that we're now running into is it looks like it might be pushing some of that out. That's actually better. There we go. Get to see a little bit more of that. There's only one other seed in PG. Yeah, I don't even know what a seed kit looks like. Oops. Haven't snapped the Shure MG and the 2.0. Don't know if I'll keep them. But you bought them. Been looking at FA so many times, almost grabbed some MG new. I need to put down some more. Bring it down a little bit more. And I got, how much time do I got? A couple more minutes. All right, Edwin, have a nice evening, my friend. And we will see you tomorrow. So this is the block from the True Sander, which I have not really enjoyed using. I have used it. It's okay. But I do enjoy using this block for exactly this purpose. Okay, just glue on some sandpaper. Got 2 different grades of sandpaper, grits. Good. Okay. Now let's do this again. A little better. All right, but I'm going to leave it be for now because it is time for me to get going. And leave it all like that. And we'll work on that tomorrow. All right, my friends. Sorry about the screw up at the beginning. Technology, right? And sorry about cutting it short, but got to get ready to get to Boston. Guys, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. Good conversations this morning, brief as they were. But go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. It's getting darker. It's getting more sinister and nastier out there. It's up to us to just show a little bit of peace, a little bit of love, kindness to others. Let's not rip into people. Let's show them how to be good people by example. Do good. Love you all. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the flip. Peace.